If you're looking for a perfect balance between family-friendly, daily drivability, but still lots of fun, then you found the right video. You are also a dying breed, since no one these days even wants a sedan anymore. Seriously, this crossover SUV craze is getting out of hand. But that's a topic for another time. For the three of you who haven't lost their mind, here are 5 affordable performance sedans. The new kid on the block, the Kia Stinger GT. This car has been making headlines and waves across the entire automotive world. If you still haven't heard about this car, you either live under a rock or are one of those people who've dismissed it as just another Kia. Well, this Kia isn't your ordinary Kia, as Kia has engineered this car to death in order to give their brand a serious flagship, and that it did. As people who never thought they'd ever fathom the possibility of wanting to own a Kia are the first people to rally behind its car's underrated success. The Stinger GT has 2 engine options, being either a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo or a 3.3-liter twin-turbo V6. It also has either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. That way, if you want to have some fun with the back end, rear-wheel drive is still an option. If you live in a climate that doesn't have the nicest of weather, all-wheel drive will be your best friend. Perhaps the only regrettable lack of choice comes with the transmission, as it cannot be optioned with a manual, only an 8-speed paddle shift automatic. However, this 8-speed paddle shift automatic has proven to be very formidable due to its ability to quickly and efficiently shift, adapting to various situations and many drive modes. In regards to the car's practicality, due to its long wheelbase, its rear seats have decent leg space. The headroom is pretty good still, but somewhat lacking due to the sloping hatchback roof, which makes for a very aggressive look. But more importantly, the hatchback roof does allow for a very spacious trunk. The trunk space totals to a whopping 23.3 cubic feet, making it the most of any car in this list. To put that into perspective, that puts to shame a Honda Pilot and almost matches that of an Acura MDX, and that's still with the rear seats up. If you put the rear seats down, the cubic feet goes all the way up to 40.9, which is more than that of a Honda CR-V. And I'm low-key right now trying to convince people to buy this car instead of freaking crossovers, because sedans, they're just seriously dying breed. I can't say that enough. And Kia is one of the rare companies that was either really brave or really stupid when they planned to develop this car, because no one asked for it, no one expected it, and it came out of nowhere to what people thought was a dying market and a dying audience. They wanted to prove to people that they were not some throwaway Korean brand. And its build quality is amazing. The reliability, I will ultimately give it undefined due to the fact that it's brand new, only time will tell. But due to Kia's current track record, I would probably say that it's going to be above average for reliability, and the car will definitely hold itself together because it's a very luxury car, very built to last, overall just a very intelligently well-made car. The Holden Commodore VF, or Chevy SS. These two are really just the same car, but in the United States it's marketed as the Chevy SS, though if you ever see one on the streets or at car meets, they're most likely rebadged as Holdens, which I don't even blame them because it is a Holden. The majority of the car is engineered and designed in Australia. However, the beautiful 415 horsepower LS3 V8, that is made in America. And if you aren't familiar with the LS engine platform, the LS engine is natively used in the Corvette. So if you weren't already sold by the fact that this sedan shares the same engine as a Corvette and is made in freaking Straya, then I honestly don't know what else to say. That's a lie, because I actually do know what else to say. As mentioned previously, the LS, if not, is one of the most reliable high-performance V engines to ever exist in modern times. It's very durable and can handle a lot of power, and under stress it does very well. And even if it does break, it's very cheap and easy to fix. So if you know how to work on cars, take a go at it. Even if you don't, it won't bleed your wallet dry. And if you take good care of the car in the first place, it will probably not even give you problems in the first place. So the Holden Commodore also comes with a manual or automatic transmission, which is much appreciated, because in this day and age, a lot of modern cars don't have that option. Both transmissions have been reported to be equally awesome, so just pick whichever one you want. The Chevy SS, as it is known in the States, despite being praised by many reviewers and thoroughly agreed by many enthusiasts to be one of the most badass sleeper cars, both on paper and in execution, all that came after the matter of the car's sale. People didn't find out how cool this car was until it basically went out of production. Holden, unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to them in 2017. Chevrolet themselves also announced that they wouldn't be continuing this car. The lack of sales of this car makes it very hard to find in the United States. If you search for Chevy SS's, expect to pay at least 25 grand. for one in decent condition. In fact, they've actually been steadily going up in price because as of 2016 they fixated around 25 grand, but now that I looked them up again, most Chevy SS's will actually cost on average around 30 grand. It's definitely still worth the price of admission, as that's still cheaper than it was brand new, and if you aren't convinced, go watch Doug DeMuro's review video of it, because this car is powerful, reliable, and surprisingly very luxurious. So if you're looking for a family car that is really fun, but also want it to be part of your daily life, then this car should be your pick. The Ford Taurus SHO. The SHO, despite spelling out show, is actually no show and all go. This ordinary looking Taurus is actually a bona fide sleeper that'll put mini sports cars to shame, giving you quite a satisfying experience. Powered by a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 that makes 365 horsepower and mated to an all-wheel drive drivetrain, the SHO launches itself from 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, making it faster than stock Hyundai Genesis's, Porsche Boxsters from the old 2000s, and V6 Mustang and Camaros. So if you want, you can look like a boring family man at every single stoplight, but whenever you see that teenage Chad looking ass try to race you in his V6 Mustang, you can rip him a new asshole and send them to another dimension. The SHO also features very usable rear seats and a 20.1 cubic feet of trunk space, being almost 5 cubic feet more than a Honda Accord. The reliability is quite average, as Tauruses aren't known to be anything astounding, and this is coming from a Ford owner myself. I'm just glad that Ford progress is being made, and I'm sure if more people buy this car, Ford will continue to improve on them until they become more reliable. At least, that's what I would say if Ford didn't just recently announce that they stopped sedan production. So yeah. This is gonna be the Chevy SS all over again. As of now, you can find 2010 Ford Taurus SHOs for as low as 10 grand, making it the cheapest car on this list. And the 2010 models are near identical to the 2018 models in regards to performance, as they still are all-wheel drive and have the same horsepower and engine. If you really want a brand new car, whether it's for the technology, the warranty, or whatever reason, then prepare to drop 42 grand for a brand new one. And honestly, I'm not against that, because at this point it'll give Ford an excuse to keep making Tauruses until the very end. So mash that order button and keep adding more Ford Taurus SHOs into the pool of SHOs that exist right now. The Lexus IS350. The third generation IS350 started from 2013, and if you couldn't tell, this list is about relatively new cars, because I've always talked about a lot of the older variations of these cars in a lot of my older videos. And even though the 2018 models can go for as high as 48 grand brand new, used ones go for as low as 20 grand. And for a luxury car like a Lexus with a beautifully crafted interior, aside from having the world's most infuriating infotainment system, is already worth the car's asking price. But really, who cares about luxury interiors? That's not why you're here for this video. You just want performance and practicality, so let's talk about this car's performance. The 2013 models come with a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 that makes 306 horsepower, and the car can either come in rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The newer IS350s boost power output by adding an insane 5 horsepower to the already awesome 306, making a grand total of 311 horsepower. Yes, I'm being sarcastic. Seriously, what's with Toyota and their obsession of adding 5 horsepower to new vehicles and calling it a day? I'm looking at you with the 8.6, like, why? You know, and before some non-car person's like, lol, he said Toyota. Lexus is an American Toyota luxury division, so the more you know. If 5 more horsepower and a facelifted design really matters that much to you, then go drop more than twice the price. Otherwise, pick up a used one for 20 grand. Lexus cars run forever anyway, so 5 years is hardly a dent in its lifespan. Honorable mentions, the Volvo Polestar. This car is here because it's way too expensive for this list. It also had an extremely limited production. And yes, I use past tense there because this car has already ended production for the United States, and all cars have been spoken for, meaning you can't buy one new anymore. I could be wrong, maybe if you shove enough money in their face they'll give you one still, but if you do want to wait for them to hit the used market, they will be quite the find. They will probably still retain their value pretty well, and Volvos are also known to be very bulletproof reliable, so many owners don't want to give them up. However, despite running very well, they do have one weakness, which is that they do have a high cost of maintenance because their parts are very low production numbers as well as being somewhat complicated in nature. So it's one of those cars where it's very high reliability but very high cost of maintenance. We started this video off with an underrated car, so let's end this video off with an overrated one. However, know this, the Subaru WRX is overrated for good reason. There's good reason as to why every car enthusiast ever always recommends the Subaru WRX. Whenever someone asks us what's a perfect family car that strikes a balance between practicality and performance, the answer is always WRX. Modern WRXs are powered by a 2-liter turbocharged boxer engine that makes 268 horsepower. The STI models have a 2.5-liter boxer that outputs 305 horsepower. The STI models only come in 6-speed manuals, whereas the standard WRX does come with a choice of manual or CVT. Please buy a manual if you do get a WRX, and I'm not saying that to be an elitist, I'm just saying that because it gets better gas mileage to have better performance. So the best bang for your buck is to get the standard transmission one. In regards to the practicality, the trunk space is 12 cubic feet, making it worse than my Mustang GT, which I think is kind of funny, but of course it can put its seats down to make more room. Speaking of the rear seats, the Subaru WRX is classified as a compact sedan. Despite being a compact, the rear seats are they're quite adequate. They're nothing super roomy or super cramped either. They're just average. The reliability of the WRX though, this is where it kind of shines. It is tried and true, and the WRX has been around for years. And there's a reason. The Boxer engine is no joke, especially when mated to the car's excellent all-wheel drive system. The Subaru WRX is renowned for its ability to go in all weather conditions, be it snow, rain, or anything. Thanks to its rally heritage and the fact that this car wins a lot of off-road racing championships, the WRX is actually a very capable off-road car, even more so than most SUVs and crossovers that people buy these days. For a non-car person, this must sound like quite an unexpected talent for a compact sedan, but I'm not joking, this bad boy seriously can do way more than what is expected. It has been known to tow vehicles several times its size, get itself out of deep mud, and maintain control even in brutal weather conditions. And even if you just drive it bone stock, the car still manages to pull a 0 to 60 of 4.8 seconds, which is definitely nothing to laugh at. That can be a good icebreaker and a good way to make friends by just owning a car that has such a strong community behind it, because even though underrated cars are cool or not, it can always be hard finding help on forums or finding aftermarket components and whatnot. But this is a car that people buy because they don't want a boring Honda Accord or Toyota Camry. They wanted that extra something special, but they still want a sedan that can still carry their family. Maybe they'll buy another car later on as they move deeper into the car enthusiast bracket, or they'll just keep driving their WRX until the end of its days because the car will run for however long you want. No matter where the roads take you, or even if there aren't any roads at all, the WRX will go there. And no, this is not sponsored by Subaru. Hey guys, Blade Angel here. I hope you all found something of interest here. I'm definitely bummed out that many manufacturers these days, especially in the United States, have just straight up given up on making sedans. Hopefully Ford, Chevy, and many other manufacturers will return to their senses. Remember, it's in your power as the consumer to make that change. Other than that, thank you all for watching and see y'all next time. Bladed Angel out.